Did you know that one single fruit, yes, just one, can begin shrinking your swollen prostate and restoring your energy in as little as 18 hours? Most men over 60 are living with constant discomfort, waking up multiple times a night to urinate, missing out on intimacy, and silently blaming themselves for a decline they never chose. But the real shock? It doesn't have to be this way, and no one ever told you that before. I'm Dr. James, a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience walking side by side with older men through some of the most personal and painful health challenges. And I've seen something remarkable. The solution is often not in a pill bottle, but in the fruit aisle. What if I told you the very foods you've walked past your entire life hold the power to reverse inflammation, support your hormones, and protect your prostate without side effects or shame? And what if 5 simple fruits, yes, familiar fruits, could make the difference between nightly frustration and peaceful sleep? In this video, I'll walk you through the 5 most powerful prostate healing fruits nature has to offer, starting with one that's rich in vitamin C and ending with a quiet giant that contains the strongest prostate protective compound ever studied. If you've ever felt like no one told you the truth about your body, stay with me, because the answers have been right in front of you all along. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another natural prostate health tip made just for men like you. And if this video speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0 and let me know how I can make this content even more helpful for your journey. Let's begin with the first fruit, one that often goes unnoticed on the shelf, yet holds remarkable healing power for your prostate. It's small, green, and slightly fuzzy on the outside, but inside it's packed with one of the most important nutrients your aging body needs to fight inflammation. I'm talking about kiwi. 1. Kiwi, rich in vitamin C, reduces prostate inflammation. I still remember one of my patients, Bill, a 68-year-old retired school principal who came into my clinic frustrated and tired. Not because of pain exactly, but because he couldn't sleep through the night. He was up every couple of hours to urinate. His energy was low, and his confidence, especially in intimate moments, had quietly disappeared. Like many men, he thought, maybe this is just aging. Maybe there's nothing I can do. But when I asked about his diet, he admitted he rarely ate fresh fruit. That's when I suggested something simple, something most people wouldn't think twice about. I told him to eat 1 kiwi fruit each morning. Why kiwi? Because this small, bright green fruit is far more powerful than it looks. Kiwi is one of nature's richest sources of vitamin C, and for men over 60, that's no small thing. Vitamin C is a natural anti-inflammatory, your body's own way of calming the swelling that builds inside the prostate over time. As the prostate enlarges, it presses on the bladder, sending confusing signals and making you feel like you have to urinate constantly, even when you don't. But kiwi goes further than just fighting inflammation. It's packed with natural antioxidants that protect cells from oxidative damage, something that becomes more and more critical with age. And it's high in fiber, which supports gut health. That might not seem connected to the prostate at first, but trust me, it is. A healthy gut helps balance hormones, supports regular detox, and improves nutrient absorption. All of these factors contribute to a more stable, more balanced environment for your prostate. What makes kiwi unique, though, is how gentle and fast it works. Some men report feeling the difference in just a few days. Less pressure, fewer nighttime interruptions, a smoother stream. And for men like Bill, it's the first step toward regaining something they thought they'd lost: control, confidence, and peace of mind. If you've never made kiwi part of your routine, now is the time. Slice one open, scoop it out with a spoon, or toss it into a smoothie. It's not about making a drastic change, it's about letting your body heal little by little, the way nature intended. But kiwi is just the beginning, because the next fruit on our list is small, sweet, and quietly powerful. In fact, it contains a rare class of antioxidants that act like bodyguards for your prostate cells, protecting them from the very stress that causes aging, swelling, and dysfunction. And the best part? You might already have it in your fridge. Let's keep going. 2. Blueberries, the antioxidant warrior that protects prostate cells from damage. There's something humbling about the small things in life. The older I get, the more I realize that healing doesn't always come in big, dramatic gestures. It often comes from the quiet, consistent choices we make each day. That's what I think about every time I see a bowl of fresh blueberries. I remember a patient named Gerald, 72, a quiet man who rarely spoke unless spoken to. He'd been struggling with prostate issues for years, frequent urination, discomfort in his lower abdomen, and a growing fear that his body was slipping away from him. His urologist had suggested medication, but the side effects, fatigue, dizziness, loss of libido, had made him feel worse, not better. When I asked Gerald what his mornings looked like, he shrugged and said, "Toast, maybe coffee, that's it." I told him we were going to add one small habit, a handful of blueberries every morning. Nothing complicated, no pills. Just a simple bowl of what I call nature's most underestimated medicine. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that specifically protect delicate tissues, like the cells in your prostate, from oxidative stress. Over time, free radicals build up and create microscopic damage, leading to inflammation, swelling, and even abnormal cell growth. But anthocyanins go to work like tiny repairmen, neutralizing those free radicals before they can cause harm. But that's not all. Blueberries also support your blood vessels and circulation, which is critical as we age. Better blood flow doesn't just mean a healthier heart. It means stronger reproductive function, improved nutrient delivery, and even sharper mental clarity. I've had patients tell me they feel lighter, more focused, and even more like myself again after just a couple of weeks of eating them daily. They're also full of soluble fiber, which keeps your digestion smooth and supports hormonal balance. The gut and the prostate are more connected than most people realize, and when you support one, you often help the other. What touched me most was when Gerald came back 3 weeks later with a small smile. He told me he'd gone from waking up 4 times a night to just once. He didn't feel perfect yet, but he felt hopeful, for the first time in a long time. That's the kind of shift I want for every man watching this. And it starts with these small, deeply powerful steps. Now, if blueberries surprised you, wait until you hear about the next fruit. It's not just delicious, it's ancient, revered in many cultures and studied by modern science for its unique ability to calm inflammation and balance hormones. And when it comes to protecting your prostate, it may just be one of the most underrated tools you've never seriously considered. Let's keep going. 3. Pomegranate, a natural source of polyphenols that supports healthy prostate cells. There's something sacred about pomegranate. Maybe it's the way you have to open it, carefully, patiently, to get to the treasure inside. Or maybe it's because for thousands of years, this fruit has been used as a symbol of life, vitality, and strength. Whatever the reason, I've come to believe this fruit holds something truly special, especially for men struggling with prostate issues. I think back to Roger, a 74-year-old former firefighter who came into my office with the quiet confidence of a man who'd seen a lot but didn't complain easily. He didn't want to talk about it at first, said he felt embarrassed. But eventually he opened up, about waking up 6 times a night, about the strain it was putting on his marriage and the fear he felt deep down. He told me he didn't feel like himself anymore. That's when I introduced him to pomegranate. Not as a miracle cure, but as a powerful ally. One with centuries of wisdom and the backing of modern science. You see, pomegranates are loaded with polyphenols, natural compounds that do something remarkable. They calm inflammation and help repair and protect the very cells that make up the prostate. This fruit works on a deeper level, restoring cellular integrity and reducing the silent chronic irritation that so often leads to swelling, urgency, and disruption. But it goes even further. Pomegranate also helps regulate hormones, especially testosterone, by supporting the endocrine system in a gentle, balanced way. That's critical for men over 60 because once testosterone begins to fluctuate, the prostate often suffers in silence. When Roger started drinking 100% pure pomegranate juice, just 2 to 4 ounces a day, he didn't expect much. But 2 weeks later, he told me something had shifted. He wasn't rushing to the bathroom all night. He and his wife had begun reconnecting, and maybe most importantly, he felt calmer, less like he was constantly fighting against his own body. Pomegranate can be enjoyed in more than one way. You can sip the juice slowly or eat the seeds directly. Sprinkle them over yogurt, mix them into salads, or enjoy them as a snack. However you take it in, your body knows exactly what to do with it. And just when you think you've heard the best nature has to offer, the next fruit enters like a quiet champion. It's bright, it's refreshing, and hidden inside its sweet, juicy flesh is a powerful compound that not only cools the body, but actually shields your prostate from the very damage that causes it to swell in the first place. Most men don't even realize they've been eating it their whole lives without ever unlocking its true healing power. Let's take a closer look. 4. Watermelon, a cooling fruit that also protects the prostate with natural lycopene. There's something deeply nostalgic about watermelon. For many of us, it brings back memories of summer. Barefoot on the porch, juice running down your chin, a moment of simple sweetness in a complicated world. But as I've learned over the years, watermelon isn't just a childhood treat. It's one of the most underestimated healing foods for the aging male body, especially when it comes to your prostate. I remember a man named Charles, 70 years old, who had all but given up on the idea of natural healing. He was skeptical, tired, fed up with conflicting advice. He came to me not expecting a solution, just hoping for something, anything, that might ease the constant discomfort in his lower abdomen. The urgency, the weak stream, the frustration of never feeling fully relieved, it had worn him down. When I suggested something as simple as eating watermelon, he raised an eyebrow. But I explained that watermelon is more than just water and sugar. Hidden inside its bright red flesh is lycopene, the same powerful antioxidant found in tomatoes, but in a form that's refreshing, hydrating, and easy to absorb. Lycopene is known for reducing oxidative stress, and when it comes to prostate health, that matters more than most men realize. Oxidative stress is what gradually wears down the tissues in your prostate. It creates an environment of chronic low-grade inflammation, tightening your bladder, reducing flow, and keeping you up at night. Lycopene works like a shield, defending your prostate cells from this ongoing damage, and watermelon delivers that protection in a way that also keeps your body cool, hydrated, and functioning smoothly. The hydration alone is a gift. Many older men don't realize they're mildly dehydrated, which makes everything harder, from digestion to circulation to hormone balance. Watermelon helps flush toxins through the urinary system while easing strain on the kidneys and bladder. And for men with prostate swelling, that kind of gentle systemic support can make a real difference. Charles started small, just a cup a day. Within a week, he noticed his urgency had lessened. By the second week, his sleep was less interrupted. And something else happened. He started feeling more comfortable in his body again, more relaxed, more at peace. That's the power of watermelon. It doesn't just cool the body, it calms the fight inside. But if you think that's impressive, just wait, because the final fruit on our list isn't just helpful, it's legendary. It's been studied more than any other fruit for prostate health, and when it's prepared the right way, it becomes a concentrated source of the most potent prostate healing compound science has discovered to date. You've seen it on sandwiches, in soups, but after today, you'll never look at it the same way again. Let's move on. 5. Tomato, a rich source of lycopene that helps protect the prostate in a comprehensive way. If there's one fruit I wish every man over 60 would take seriously, it's the tomato. Not because it's trendy or exotic or expensive, but because it's been quietly sitting on our plates for generations, carrying within it one of the most powerful prostate-healing nutrients ever discovered. And yet most men still don't know how to unlock its full potential. I had a patient named Don, a widower in his late 60s, who told me, half joking, that his prostate had become his least favorite body part. He was exhausted from managing symptoms, frustrated with prescriptions, and deeply discouraged by the idea that this was simply his new normal. But when I asked him about his diet, one thing stood out. He ate tomatoes raw occasionally, but had never tried them cooked. That's where the magic lies. You see, tomatoes are rich in lycopene, an antioxidant that's been studied extensively for its impact on prostate health. Lycopene reduces inflammation, slows the progression of abnormal cell growth, and acts as a natural protector of glandular tissues. But here's the part most people miss. Lycopene is far more bioavailable, meaning absorbable by your body, when the tomato is cooked. When tomatoes are simmered into sauces, soups, or even lightly roasted, the lycopene becomes easier for your body to use. And when paired with a healthy fat like olive oil, the absorption improves even more. This is why the traditional Mediterranean diet, rich in cooked tomato dishes, is so often linked to lower rates of prostate disease. Don took that advice seriously. He started adding a half cup of tomato sauce to his meals a few times a week, sometimes over pasta, sometimes in soup, sometimes just as a side with roasted vegetables. A few weeks later, he returned to my office with a different kind of energy. He was sleeping better. He felt less pressure. His bathroom visits had become less frequent and less urgent. But more than anything, he said, he felt like his body was finally working with him, not against him. That's what tomatoes can do. Not overnight, not magically, but steadily, consistently, and naturally. They're a perfect example of how healing doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be consistent. And now that we've explored all 5 of these powerful fruits, you might be wondering what happens when you bring them together into your daily life. How do you combine their strengths, and how soon can you expect to feel the results? Because the truth is, once you start feeding your prostate what it actually needs, everything else begins to change. Your sleep, your energy, your confidence, even your relationships. Let's bring it all together. 6. The powerful truth. No one told you about prostate healing. By now, you've seen the truth that too many men go their whole lives without hearing. That healing the prostate, truly supporting it, calming it, and even shrinking it, isn't just possible. It's natural. You don't need to live in fear of the next urgent trip to the bathroom or accept the quiet frustration that comes with a body that no longer feels like your own. Because everything your prostate needs to feel supported again is already growing around you, in 5 simple fruits. Kiwi, the vitamin C powerhouse, cools the fire of inflammation. Blueberries, packed with antioxidants, protect your prostate cells from the invisible wear and tear of aging. Pomegranate brings hormonal balance and cellular repair with ancient strength. Watermelon hydrates and detoxifies while delivering lycopene straight to the tissues that need it most. And tomatoes, cooked and humble, become a daily shield, a steady, science-backed way to guard your prostate long-term. I've walked alongside hundreds of men, good men, strong men, who felt lost in their own bodies until they discovered these truths. And I've seen the light return to their eyes when the night became restful again, when their confidence came back, when they realized aging didn't mean surrender. You deserve that same hope, that same relief. And it starts not with drastic change, but with a few simple, nourishing choices, repeated day by day, meal by meal. Your prostate is not your enemy. It's asking for care, and now you know how to give it. So take this knowledge, use it well, and never forget, your best years may still be ahead.